Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the WWE Money in the Bank post show. Big E and Nikki ASH win the Money in the Bank. John Cena is back. Roman retains. Charlotte is the champion again. Let's do it. Damn, a lot happened tonight.
Big show.
Big show.
Well.
And I am Dave, and there is my baby bro, and there is Johnny North
Big man.
as well, joining us, of course, on location in the dark woods. What up, North Genesis?
It's actually NDG Montreal, but regardless, it's a good place to be in. You used to be there.
That's
You both
right.
used to be there.
Yeah, we both grew up where you
The
are
old
right
neighborhood.
now. But we're not there right now. We're in the Ringside Report headquarters. Thank you for joining us here on the Ringside Report Network. Shout out to Franco316. Shout out to Angelo Contagonis. I see some of the members on the chat already. Douglas Hepburn. If you haven't become a member of the YouTube channel, what are you waiting for? Become a member right now. Click that join button. Don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to the channel. We are here to talk about WWE Money in the Bank. The first show, pay-per-view show for the WWE in front of a live audience in over a year, right? A year and a half now. It's been a long, long time. And this was a hot show. John Cena comes back at the end. The return of the champ. We had 2 title changes. The Usos become the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Charlotte Flair, kind of a surprising finish there, beats Rhea Ripley in an incredible match. I think that was my match of the night. I want to know what your match of the night was. Hit us up on that chat. If you're watching us on Facebook, on Twitch, or on YouTube, you could hit us up on the chat and tell us what your match of the night was. But a very eventful Money in the Bank. Not only did we see 2 title changes, the return of John Cena, but of course Money in the Bank winners. Surprising Money in the Bank winners. Nikki ASH, Nikki Ass, Nikki Ash, whatever you want to call her, the almost superhero in training, won the women's Money in the Bank. She was a long shot to win it, and she won. Very surprising finish there. Big E was actually the favorite to win, but nobody really believed it. The betting odds were out. There were some odds you could bet on somewhere, somehow. And Big E was actually the favorite, which surprised me. I don't think either of us had him winning. I think I picked Riddle. I think, John, and you took Seth Rollins. I know our man Derek John, who's also a member of the team, he correctly predicted Big E. He also thought Big E might cash in on Bobby Lashley, which he still might. Bobby is still the champion. Didn't happen tonight. But who knows what the future may hold for Big E with that Money in the Bank briefcase. He could cash in on the champion of his choice. Maybe it will be Bobby. Maybe he'll try and get some revenge for his buddy Kofi Kingston, who lost the WWE Championship match in pretty quick fashion to Bobby tonight. Give me your match of the night. I think we're going to be in agreement here, John. Match of the night, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley.
Super chat.
It's tough because there's quite a few good matches tonight when you think about it. I mean, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match was also a very good match.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I also like the main event a lot. So that's tough to say what was the best match of the night. Like, I look at all 3 of those, and those are, to me, all 3 great matches.
Angelo Contagonis dropping the super chat. He is the super chat leader of the night. Sorry, John. Angelo says, my match of the night was the men's Money in the Bank match. It was awesome. Sorry, John, I cut you off there. Go ahead.
You can't go wrong with any of those choices, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much all I was going to say besides that.
Yeah. Incredibly solid pay-per-view tonight. One of the most solid
the first match
I've seen in a long time. The Mysterios and the Usos, or the first match,
the women's Money in the Bank.
The women's Money in the Bank.
Yeah, kickoff doesn't count.
Yeah, that was that one
was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, the women's Money in the Bank wasn't that strong. There was a lot of spots where it was just someone trying to climb up the ladder and someone trying to take them down. There wasn't as many creative spots as the men's match.
Or hypnotize them.
Yes, yeah. I forgot about that, John. Thanks for reminding
Zelina
me.
was hypnotized. We will break the matches down one by one here.
But
my
my match of the night? Yeah, I guess I go with Rhea and Charlotte. But for a dark horse, though, I enjoyed AJ and Omos versus the Viking Raiders. I thought there were some pretty good spots in that match, and
I felt like one
That's
of the
good. I
weaker
wouldn't say
points.
match of the night though.
Yeah.
No, like a dark horse. Like it was like go like we might not talk about it too much, but that was pretty decent.
Yeah, I thought the pay-per-view overall was pretty good. I thought Money in the Bank was good. It delivered.
7 on 10 for me.
Like you say, all right. Well, that's what I was getting at. On 10. Thanks for jumping the gun. Sorry. John, will you want to jump the gun too? What do you got?
I was going to say 7 as well, but I wasn't going to jump the gun. I was going to wait for you on that one.
All right. I really liked Money in the Bank. I really liked it. I'm going to give it a 7.5. I was thinking about an 8, but you guys are ranking it so low. I don't want to be,
It's that first match. That first match hurt a lot.
Yeah, and, I didn't love the main event. Like, you're talking about the main event and how great it was. Let's start there. I didn't love it. Give me your, on the chat, by the way, I want to know your score on 10 on this pay-per-view. Johnny and my brother giving it a 7. I'm giving it a 7.5 on 10. I was thinking about an 8, but there were some matches that I didn't love. The problem was there were some matches that I really, really liked. Like that men's Money in the Bank match was fantastic, and the Charlotte Flair-Rhea Ripley match was really good too. But I didn't love the Edge-Roman match. I thought that there were some problems there. A lot of, as you would put it, Johnny, salad dressing, right? A lot of kind of nonsense, extra stuff. As soon as the ref bumped, things got a little crazy. And up until the ref bumped, things were very plain and boring. And, Roman was throwing that headlock on Edge for a really long time. And I understand he's a heel and he was working the crowd and he's doing all that. But it wasn't just the headlock, man. Like, half that match was not very good. Like, nothing really happened. It was a very slow build. But it was a very slow build to what? To Roman spearing himself through the barricade. Then Edge spearing Roman through the barricade. Then Roman Superman punches Edge, who falls into Charles Robinson, who goes down. And then Charles Robinson, the referee, he's down for like a really long time. I don't know if you noticed, Charles Robinson's down in the ring. Roman Reigns leaves the ring, goes to get the steel rod off the steel chair to do that crossface with the chair rod that Edge has been doing. So Roman goes to grab a weapon. He gets back in the ring. As Roman's getting back in the ring with his weapon, Charles Robinson, who's in the ring, he decides to roll out at this point because he's like, oh, Roman's going to be cheating really badly here. I better get out of the ring and keep selling. He continues to sell. A couple trainers and an agent come down. Eventually, they help him to the back. When they come down, no new ref comes down with them. Anytime there's any kind of incident in the WWE, a dozen referees come down to help or whatever. This time, one of their own goes down. Eventually, 2 trainers and an agent come out. No referee. So at that point, I was like, come on, man. What are you doing here? What is all this extra nonsense that's happening? So Little Nate goes away. No new ref to replace him. The Usos come out to attack Edge because there's no ref, so why not? Then the Mysterios come out. They chase off the Usos. And then Edge puts Roman in that chair rod crossface thing forever. Roman doesn't seem like he's really thinking about tapping out, even though at WrestleMania he was put in that thing for like 2 minutes and he tapped out. But, whatever. He's in that thing forever. Seth Rollins then shows up, kicks Edge in the head, and then Edge winds up spearing Roman. 1, 2, 3, but still no ref. Still no ref at this point. Like, all this shit has transpired, and we still don't have a second ref. So it's like, come on now. Eventually, the ref comes. 1, 2. Of course, Roman kicks out of the spear. And then the finish comes. Seth Rollins just returns, jumps on the apron. Edge is like, huh? And then Roman spears Edge. 1, 2, 3. And that was it.
I hate that kind of finish.
It's not a good finish. It was very plain, very basic, very TV finish. Seth jumps on the apron, distracts Edge. Roman hits his finish. 1, 2, 3. I didn't really like that main event. I was disappointed with how little they actually did and with how much kind of nonsense was going on around it. I much preferred the post-match to the actual match. Seth Rollins attacks Edge after the match, so it's like, okay, Seth and Edge, they've got something going. Probably Seth Edge at SummerSlam, which I'm all for. I think that'll be a great match.
That's true, yeah.
Hopefully, you know. Because I think Seth can carry Edge more than Roman could tonight. I don't think Roman did a great job. I really didn't think the match was that good. Seth and Roman had their face-off, which I think was really good because you're planting the seeds. You know it's not going to happen at SummerSlam, but it's going to happen down the road, and we continue to plant the seeds and build to this match of your two top stars in your whole company, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. They're the two biggest stars in the company, so that face-off was good. Edge attacks Seth. They brawl out. They leave the arena, and then Roman gets a mic, and you're like, okay, well, Cena's coming now. Why is Roman talking? It's like 11:20. This pay-per-view should have been over like 30 minutes ago. Why is this still going on? Then John Cena comes out, does the You Can't See Me, poses, and pay-per-view goes off the air. I much preferred the post-match to the actual match because I thought the actual match was overbooked bullshit. I really didn't think it was that good. Johnny, tell me why you liked this match. Why am I wrong? What did I miss?
Well, it's the way you look at it. It's not that you're wrong. It's just I didn't see it that way. I thought it was really amazing how they were able to bring the crowd back right after the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. That's extremely difficult to do. And the fact that they got the crowd back into it, probably more so than ever, like, they were into that match. It was incredible. Like, at first, not so much, but as that match went on, they kept coming back, because they felt everything that Edge was going through. That Edge had to battle through that whole match to finally make his big comeback. So that's what I felt. I just felt the emotion of that match.
But I didn't believe at any point. I didn't believe Edge was going to win, ever.
Yeah, for the live crowd, Edge is going to bring a lot of hype, though. Like, they're hyped to see Edge, and they want Edge to succeed. Like, he's right there in front of them. He's performing in front of them. So they're going to be excited.
To see anything.
Yeah.
I mean, when's the last time you were in a live crowd to see anything, right? These crowds, you can't really judge them as regular crowds. They haven't seen anything for like a year. Nothing is coming to arenas. All of a sudden, there's an arena show with pyro and wrestling and shit. So yeah, of course they're going to be hyped, but I've been watching wrestling on TV, and this didn't seem like an extraordinary TV match to me. You know, I wasn't feeling the emotion like you were. I just want to give a shout-out to everybody in the chat giving us the ratings on 10. Johnny giving this pay-per-view a 7. Ben Simon giving it a 7. Dave Simon giving it a 7.5. Matthew the Magician gives it an 8. Ooh. Angelo, my man, the Super Chat leader, giving it a 7.5. Harold Schneider, member of the team, gives it a 7. Douglas Hepburn, member of the team as well. Shout out to Doug and Kingston, Doug and Nick. They give it a 7 on 10. 2 title changes helps it out for Doug. Bob Cote, 7.5. Franco316 says, the women's Money in the Bank finish was lame. Could not agree with you more, Franco. I agree. That was a lame finish. JJ Mondesi gives it a 9 on a 10. On 10, he really likes that one. Mako gives it a 7.5, just like me.
Can I ask you guys a question about the Roman match? No?
Yes.
Were either of you guys confused by Roman's reaction from the crowd? Because we get to see how the crowd reacts to all these guys. And, like, Roman has been, like, a very steady, kind of consistent heel. He hasn't showed much of, like, anything, like, cool. Like, he's always trying to be kind of, like, stifling and boring. But I found the crowd was kind of split for Roman. Like, they were doing, like let's go Edge, let's go Roman. Yep. At one point, the crowd was chanting, you can't wrestle. And then there's a segment crowd going, yes, he can.
Yeah.
Like, you get that for Cena, but Cena always tried to stay true as a babyface. But Roman's trying really hard to be heel. He's trash-talking the audience, but you still had a large segment that seems to think he's cool. And is it because he's handsome? And
people like Roman. People like this heel Roman persona. People have wanted Roman to turn heel. I think there's part of the audience that is embracing the Roman heel persona. A lot of people like Johnny North are fans of this Roman gimmick. And also I think there's still remnants of the Roman fans from the babyface run. I think the you can't wrestle chant sounded a little deeper than the yes he can sound a little more higher pitched. You know, a lot of the female audience, big Roman Reigns fans, the WWE's done a good job. Kids and women have really taken to Roman Reigns throughout his run. So I think there's still a big portion of fans of Roman that kind of
behind him.
Yeah, that always kind of stick behind him. Whatever.
You can't.
You know,
they
like
can't shake him off.
Antoinette. I'm sure Antoinette, you know, babyface or heel, she is behind Roman Reigns. There are Roman Reigns fans that are just diehard through and through. And that's what happened tonight. There were a few Roman Reigns fans that were with him, and, you know, some people with the heel program booing him.
I guess so. In a way, it's a little disappointing, you know, because Roman has done a good job of being like a heel you want to boo. Like, he hasn't shown an instance where you're like, oh, you know, Roman's cool here. And, you know, he's with Paul Heyman. He's always, you know, acknowledged me. You know, he doesn't have a cool catchphrase. So I thought, you know, during this time he would have, like, alienated a bit of that answer and, like, made him think, like, oh, he's not so cool. I'd like to boo him. But no, they're still, like, behind him in the same way.
Not a cool catchphrase. I agree with you. I think acknowledge me is a very lame, boring catchphrase. Hey, I'm here. Acknowledge me. Hey, could you please acknowledge me? But Johnny North loves it. Johnny North the other day on the show was talking about how much he loves the catchphrase. Johnny, you love acknowledge me, right? You think it's the best catchphrase ever. Better than smell what the Rock is cooking, what you gonna do, or 'cause Stone Cold said so.
That you're being facetious there, John.
I don't know if he believes that, but he really likes the
no.
catchphrase. Whoa,
I really
better than give me a hell yeah.
Or what you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you? Come on, John. Acknowledge
all
me.
Those are kind of long-winded, you know. Like, Roman is to the point. It's quick and easy. It's pretty good.
What?
I got a better two-word catchphrase for you, John.
Good.
Got 2 words for you.
I got a better two-word catchphrase for you, John. Charlotte Flair knows all about it. Suck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does that, flips the crowd off, and then the crowd's like loving her at the end. So it's very weird. The crowd's off.
Charlotte Flair was a goddamn hero tonight. All praise due to the queen. Bow down to the motherfucking queen. Charlotte is the best. I want to talk about Charlotte for a second here in a minute, but I just want to wrap up the Cena-Roman stuff. Cena, Roman, you know, SummerSlam, it's going down. I was hyped to see Cena. WrestleVotes spoiled it. I don't know if you saw this, but WrestleVotes, who's always given the, you know, the scoop, WrestleVotes on Twitter is the only legitimate wrestling news source, like spoiler news source out there. There are a lot of good wrestling reporters, but WrestleVotes, I gotta say, is my most legitimate insider source there is. WrestleVotes knew that Finn Balor was going to be on SmackDown and tweeted about it on Friday. And then this afternoon, WrestleVotes tweets, here, I'll show you. Source states the plan going back weeks ago was for a big-time surprise tonight. Same sources states they haven't heard anything regarding it all weekend, which could be just to throw everyone off. I don't know. It's not like this person can't be seen or anything. This was at 4:09 p.m. WrestleVotes had the scoop. WrestleVotes knew. WrestleVotes always knows on Twitter. Shout out to WrestleVotes. But WrestleVotes knew. I mean, a lot of people were reporting that Cena was going to show up on SmackDown on Friday night. But no, he shows up tonight, early, to close the pay-per-view.
He won't be on Friday, though.
Why not?
He still might be on Friday. Like, yeah. Saying like, oh, yeah. He still could be there. He probably will be there now.
He'll cut a promo. Anyways. He'll probably open the show.
Yeah, he'll be there on Friday, but that's not the point. The point is, you know, a lot of people were reporting that Cena was going to return to the WWE on Friday Night SmackDown, but he returned 6 days earlier on Money in the Bank.
WrestleVotes had the scoop.
And WrestleVotes knew. And that was pretty cool. And I really liked seeing John Cena tonight. That was, you know, I mean, we were kind of falling asleep at the end of that pay-per-view.
Nodding off.
The finish was weak with the Seth jumping on the apron distraction. Like, we were struggling. John Cena comes out. The music hits. He does a thing. He's saluting us.
It's time to go back to work.
He looks right at us. He's got the never give up towel. It's time to go back to work. Little salute. Runs down to the ring. Does his thing. Whips off his hat. Shows his weird hair with the bald spot in the back. I was excited. I was like, yeah! Get him, John! The champ is here!
And this is coming from two guys who flipped off John Cena to his face during his 2005 babyface run. So for us to be marking out, it's a big deal.
Yeah,
it matters.
I didn't like John Cena for a very long time, but over time, he earned my respect and my hustle and my loyalty. Johnny North doesn't like Johnny Cena.
I actually don't mind that I don't have to watch SummerSlam because I don't have to put up with John Cena wrestling. So I'm actually kind of happy about that.
Even he hasn't wrestled a match. I think he hasn't wrestled a legit match since his last match with Roman Reigns, or maybe one of those crown jewel matches. But come on, John, still.
John won't be watching.
I mean
SummerSlam.
that.
Can't do it.
John won't be watching SummerSlam not because John Cena's wrestling, but because he is wrestling himself. Johnny has a match SummerSlam evening. For some reason, Johnny North's return match, he hasn't wrestled in over a year, and his first booking is an indie show. A year and a half. Your first booking is opposite SummerSlam.
I know.
Well, because SummerSlam's on a Saturday this year. That's
I know.
Why.
But, change the show to Sunday. How hard can it be? I don't know. I just don't understand. I don't want to knock the promoter who's booking you because, that's not smart for me as your friend. But I just don't understand, your first match back. It's the same night as SummerSlam. Could have been any night.
Almost at the same time, too.
Same time, running opposite SummerSlam. Oh.
Maybe you'll be the better show.
I'm sure it will be because John will be on it. Johnny North. But then again, Johnny Cena's going to be on this show, John, and he's pretty cool, too. All right, Charlotte Flair is the Raw Women's Champion. Again. She did it again. She beats Rhea Ripley. Match of the night, as far as I'm concerned. Rhea Ripley slapped hands with the fans on her way to the ring. She's the babyface. We're wondering, throughout this program, who's the babyface? Who's the heel? Now that we have fans and we see Rhea Ripley kind of playing to the fans, we know she is the babyface. Fans started chanting, "We want Becky" during this match.
But as soon as it started, they were just squaring off and they were already chanting.
Yes.
It was not a good start.
And Charlotte then told the fans to suck it. She did the suck it, and then she flipped the bird. She gave the old bird ski to the whole crowd. The WWE tried to cut it out. They went to black, but when they come back, it's just more of Charlotte's middle finger right there.
Walking around the ring.
Just walking around the ring, giving the old Stone Cold salute. Oh, hell yeah! I was loving it. She combined all the best parts of the Attitude Era. The two greatest Attitude Era hand gestures all in one swoop. Suck it and the bird. And that was just fantastic stuff. Also, I don't know if you noticed, Charlotte applying a high-angle Boston Crab reminiscent of the Lion Tamer in that match. Also landing a spinning back elbow reminiscent of the Judas Effect. Hitting a couple Jericho moves in this match, which was kind of weird. At first, she put the Lion Tamer on, and you were like, oh, that's kind of like a Lion Tamer. And then you were like, wouldn't it be weird if she had Judas Effect? Yeah. And then she did.
Yeah, it's like she's doing Jericho's moves, like a subtle, wink at AEW.
I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but Jericho did invent Money in the Bank. He did invent the concept of Money in the Bank. It is the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and Kevin Owens also in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I don't know if you noticed, he did a lion salt onto a ladder to knock down Seth and John Morrison, Johnny Drip Drip.
Well, just going to Charlotte with the back elbow thing. Andrade was doing that in WWE, and now I'm going to guess he's not going to do that in AEW so much now, right? So I think Charlotte's going to now use the move because now no one's doing it in WWE. So it's not so much for Jericho. I think it's more for Andrade.
Well, it was weird with the Boston Crab was like a lion tamer.
Yeah, I understand how you could see it like that, but I again, I think it's more for her fiance.
It makes sense.
All right.
He's in AEW, though.
The top rope natural selection was beautiful from Charlotte Flair. That was amazing.
Has she ever done that before? I feel like I've seen it from like the second rope, but not the top.
I don't think I've ever seen it before. Yeah, that was a great false finish, right? You thought it was over after that. Yeah. And then when she didn't win after that, you thought, oh, well, she's not going to win now because that was too close. Right. And then she does apply the figure eight submission after just bashing Rhea's leg against the ring post, rolls her back into the ring, applies the figure eight, and Rhea is in the middle of the ring, can do nothing but tap out. Clean finish. Charlotte is the new Raw Women's Champion. Excellent match. Surprising ending. Neither of us saw a clean finish happening here, maybe stretching to SummerSlam, but it ends here. Maybe Rhea gets a rematch at SummerSlam, but she really has no claim at being the number one contender, right? I mean, they could do it because, why not? But she lost clean to Charlotte Flair after last pay-per-view where she had to get herself disqualified to escape Charlotte Flair. This time she just loses. Couldn't get herself disqualified. Not in time anyways. And she loses here. So I don't know what you do with Charlotte next. Who's Charlotte's opponent at SummerSlam?
If it's not Becky.
If not Becky.
Then who?
Well, Rhea, I guess. Who else? Nikki Ass?
Well, I don't think they're going to give her the match yet. They're going to build her up, right, because she has the Money in the Bank. So they're going to take their time with her, I think. So, I mean, if it's not any of the people that you suggested, maybe Nia Jax.
Why weren't Nia Jax or Shayna? Like, they could have been in that women's Money in the Bank match. Maybe helped it out.
Well, they kind of destroyed Shayna, didn't they? Like,
yeah.
She lost to, Bliss, and then it was kind of done for her. She hasn't been seen, I think, since, no?
I don't know. The whole Reginald thing kind of ruined all of them.
Where's Reginald now?
I don't know. So what do you think, Charlotte SummerSlam? Becky? Where's Becky?
Becky would be the best, obviously, I mean, just to bring her back out of nowhere is kind of weird. And did this make Charlotte a face now? Because it kind of felt like it did. And we kind of bring Becky back now for that.
Why does this make Charlotte a babyface?
I mean, that reaction when she won, the crowd loved it.
Crowds love a title change.
And I think they're showing respect.
Does like Charlotte, and the match was so damn good.
Showing respect to Rhea also. I think it was just that was a good match. It's like the crowd was kind of admitting they were being jerks a bit, and they're like, you know what, you entertained us. It was a nice mea culpa.
It was impressive. It's not easy for wrestlers to pull that off. To kind of lose them right at the start and then to get them back at the end. Shows you how good the match was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shows how far Rhea's come,
But Charlotte, Charlotte's reaction to that "We Want Becky" chant was so good. She couldn't have reacted to it any better. Mm-hmm. She reacted so well to it. WWE was like, "Oh shit, Charlotte, what are you doing?" It was just wild, Harold Schneider dropping a super chat. He says, "I enjoyed this better than both nights of WrestleMania. As quality was stretched too thin over 2 days, this was entertaining as an event." Yeah, this was a really good show. Really good show. Becky Lynch did tease a return earlier today, just messing with us. She tweeted this out. "Beautiful day in Fort Worth, Texas. Really hope no one gets taken out of this ladder match." Tweeting this, a picture of herself right in front of the arena earlier today. And then she responded right after the ladder match, "Phew, I was so worried." That someone would get taken out of that ladder match. I do expect Becky to come back soon. Becky versus Charlotte would make a lot of sense for SummerSlam. But Becky versus Bianca Belair would be a pretty damn big match too. So I don't know what they do with Becky. But I feel like she's going to be back soon. And she's going to have one of those top matches at SummerSlam. It's just a matter of against who. Charlotte makes sense, but it's been done a lot. Bianca kind of makes more sense.
Depends if you want to put the belt on Becky or not. I think if you wanted to put the belt on Becky, you have her face Charlotte. And then if you want to have a longer feud, it's Bianca. Bianca probably wins round 1 against Becky in a feud.
Or she doesn't. And she gets drafted somewhere else, and it's just you can't beat Becky. Because she's Becky.
I mean,
Bianca
been pushing Bianca pretty hard,
ever.
Though. It's having superhuman strength.
It's Becky Lynch. She's another level.
Yeah.
I don't know, John. What do you think? Where does Becky go?
I think it has to be to Raw because it feels like they're going to do Bianca and Sasha again. They've kept Sasha off TV since WrestleMania. I think to hold that rematch to SummerSlam to give Sasha the win back and to stretch this to another match will probably go all the way to the end of the year, I think. So I think Becky, if it makes the most sense that she goes to Raw. To face Charlotte, I mean, it's been done before, but it still works.
I suppose we'll see what happens with Becky, but I do think Becky is going to be back soon. Charlotte Flair, new Raw Women's Champion. Incredible stuff. Sorry, I just got distracted. Kanye's got a new album. It's coming out on Friday.
What? Breaking news.
There was like a listening party tonight in Vegas.
Oh, jeez.
And apparently he's got a new album, and it's like ready and done, and he's...
Is it like a clean album, or is it like a dark,
I have no idea.
twisted fantasy
But
that could be beautiful?
Apparently Kanye has an album that's actually going to come out this week. But we hear that a lot by Kanye. But if he's doing a listening party, I mean, he's definitely got something down, ready to go.
Huh?
I mean, I know like we're supposed to be talking about wrestling right now, but when I see that Kanye West has a new album coming out this week, I get a little excited.
Huh?
Wow. Yeezy. Okay, back to the show. Big E, I'm sure, is excited about Kanye's new album, possible new album. Big E also excited about his Money in the Bank victory, taking out Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, John Morrison, Drew McIntyre, Riddle, Nakamura, and Ricochet to win Money in the Bank. Incredible moment, huge pop, probably pop of the night for Big E when he won that Money in the Bank match. People were loving it. I was loving it. He was the favorite to win, you know, on the sports books or whatever, but I didn't really believe WWE was going to pull the trigger on him, but they did.
It felt like an old school kind of decision, like when Rob Van Dam won Money in the Bank. It's just like, yeah, this guy should win, but like they'll never give it to him, and then there he is with the briefcase.
Or when CM Punk won.
Yep. Yeah.
Or when Daniel Bryan won.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, it'd be cool if this guy won, but like, you know, they'll never actually do it. And then they do it, and you're like, shit. Maybe something's going to happen here with Big E. That match was very good. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match, tremendous. Seth and John Morrison teaming up to beat up the babyfaces. Crowd very much behind John Morrison. There was Johnny Drip Drip chants at one point. Crowd also not so into Drew McIntyre. I don't know if you noticed that. At one point, Drew McIntyre came in to do like a whole thing, and the crowd was just dead. They really didn't react to him. He was beating up John Morrison. They were kind of booing him. It's like I've been saying this whole time that Drew's been pushed in the pandemic era with no fans. He's not going to be over when there's fans because he's not doing anything that exciting. He's not a guy you can get behind. And crowd was dead for Drew tonight, and they were pretty much hot for everybody. Did you notice that, John?
Well, I noticed some boos during the promo, but there's still some cheers, though. I mean, he gets a mixed reaction. You know, some people like him, some people don't.
It's not good.
No, during that match, it went quiet when he started getting his heat. Even so, he even did that thing where he went to dance and was like, "Come on!" Like
and
that's
there were boos when he did that.
Yeah, like that's usually a sign when like you feel like you're losing the audience. You gotta like do something to try to like wake him up, and it backfired on him. It was disappointing. I mean, and then he tried to do his big flip. And like it was an impressive move, but you could hear the audience kind of going like, "Yeah, that was nice, but screw you."
Still some boos.
Yeah, so
I don't know. I don't think Drew was very over as a babyface or over at all, which you know has got to be looked at as somewhat of a failure by WWE. But Drew taken out of this match by Jinder Mahal and his goons. So Jinder and Drew will embark on a feud that no one will care about, and that's fine. Drew back to the bottom of the ladder, I guess, on Monday Night Raw, feuding with Jinder, like
a former WWE champion or world heavyweight champion.
WWE champion.
There you go.
Both of them former WWE champions. That maybe one day you'll be like, really, them? So I don't know. Seth Rollins powerbombing Kevin Owens out of the ring through that ladder. Holy shit! Kevin took that roughly. That was a bump of the night, I would say. I don't think anybody took a worse, more devastating bump than Kevin Owens taking that powerbomb through that ladder. It wasn't that he went through the ladder, that he went out, you know, from outside in the ring to outside the ring, it was the way his body landed. Like, he didn't land flat like this. He landed on an angle. And
his head took most of it.
Like his head and shoulders and neck took most of it. It looked rough. I hope he's all right. I hope he's feeling all right.
There was some really good bumps tonight. That men's Money in the Bank ladder match. To me, they showed the women how to do a ladder match, because it seemed like the women didn't know how to wrestle a ladder match. The men clearly know what they're doing. That was fantastic.
More experience. Way more.
There was some experience in the women's one, though, but I guess
not like John Morrison.
The problem,
John Morrison is one of the most experienced ladder match guys in all of professional wrestling at this point. When you think about all the Money in the Banks that he's
even
been
McIntyre's been in a few, in his younger days.
Seth Rollins,
a lot of those.
Kevin Owens. You know, I mean, these are ladder match specialists. I don't think it's really fair to compare the matches.
Yeah.
You're dealing with Liv Morgan and Zelina Vega and even Tamina. Come on, man. Alexa Bliss. They're not ladder match specialists. You have Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, John Morrison in there. Those guys alone. They can carry a ladder match. It's a whole different kind of thing. We were talking about John Morrison before. John Morrison was involved in a ladder match that had the worst injury I've ever seen in a ladder match ever. And we were talking about
Let's see if John can name all the participants.
Yeah, John, it was a fatal 4-way tag team match.
Armageddon 07.
Who got injured?
Right.
What happened to his face? And who was in the match? We were talking about it before.
4 teams.
I was able to get 3 out of the 4 teams. I struggled with the 4th, but he had it for me. What do you got?
Yeah, I could probably do the same. It was Joey Mercury that got his face exploded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
we all say the
Eminem.
same thing, eh? We all say face exploded, because that's really what happened.
It really did.
The ladder just went, and his whole face went.
His eyes didn't look the same all of a sudden.
His eyes were shut. It was
his
immediately. I've never seen anything like that.
Gushing blood.
Worst ladder match injury I've ever seen in my life.
And he's crawling on the floor, like he looked like Christ.
He looked like he was I'm gonna die here. Yeah. Please, somebody save me. It's horrible. Okay,
well, he left the match.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So John, so the other 3 teams:
Morrison and Mercury.
Yeah, it was Eminem, the Hardy Boys. What were the other teams?
One of them was the tag team champs, I think, and they won. They
Come
retained.
on, John.
And they
one
retained.
of the longest reigning tag team champs in the history of the WWE. One of the greatest tag teams in the history of the WWE.
Super underrated.
Never gets mentioned by WWE. Super overlooked, but one of my favorite tag teams of all time.
One of the best shoot interviews ever.
It wasn't the world's greatest tag team, was it?
No. Better.
That's too bad. Better than the world's greatest tag team.
That's right, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Wow. It's not the Usos.
No,
before the Usos.
See, this is a tag team everybody forgot.
Yeah, you knew them right away. You said it right away.
Yeah, I said it right away because they're one of my favorites.
Yeah, me too.
You want me to tell you?
What's the team?
Lundrick. Sure. Paul London and Brian Kendrick.
They were good.
They were so good.
Their run as tag team champions.
Tag team?
Yeah,
I would say so.
With the backflips off the top rope at the when they would come out, I love that.
Yes,
I ate that with the spoon. And the 4th tag team, you probably won't get it.
William Regal, and
Dave Taylor.
Dave Taylor.
Yes, in their singlets.
Incredible tag team match. Incredible
Suplex
fatal 4-way ladder match. And John Morrison was in that. You think about the names that I'm mentioning here: Dave Taylor, William Regal. Joey Mercury,
Brian Kendrick,
Paul London. None of these guys barely wrestle anymore. Yet John Morrison's here in this Money in the Bank ladder match here. So you see the experience level, is completely different from the men's and the women's side. So I don't think it's really fair. Yeah, they could take some pointers for the next time, but I thought this men's Money in the Bank ladder match was tremendous. Big E winning was amazing. Just great stuff all around. Great stuff. And the finish, too. Big E hitting the big ending on Seth Rollins off the ladder. Holy shit. What a maneuver.
Looked like he injured himself.
Yeah, but that looked like that hurt him, though.
Yeah, I think it did, right? Did you notice Big E, his left arm, he just clutched next to his... And at one point, I posted a video on my Twitter at Dave Simon MMA. You can see Big E. He's got the briefcase in one hand, and his other arm is just, pinned to his body, and he tries to shake it off, and he goes, ah! You can see he's hurt just before he goes in the corner to pose. He poses with the briefcase with one arm. His other arm never moves. I don't know what's up with Big E. I really hope it's not bad. It looked like maybe a wrist or an elbow injury, but who knows with the arm? You really never know. It could be a shoulder. I don't know, but I hope he's all right. And, you know, an injury at this time when he just wins Money in the Bank would be devastating. I really hope he's not seriously injured, but Big E definitely looked hurt after that match and hurt enough where he couldn't move his left arm.
And
which
if he
is
drops
bad.
the briefcase, it's definitely going to Seth.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But, you know, it would suck. I mean, if he drops a briefcase, does he ever get to a main event level again? You know, sometimes these opportunities come, and if you don't, you know, I mean, remember when Dolph Ziggler was world heavyweight champion, and then he got a concussion, then he had to drop the belt to Del Rio, and he's never been champion again. He's never been really close to that kind of level. Sometimes, you know, if they're about to push you and you get hurt, they might not never come back around
Fandango.
to you again. They just, sometimes they don't come back around. So I really hope Big E is okay, but I don't know. What do you think?
Wait and see. You know, I mean, if he's hurt, there's no reason why they just can't wait. Like, have him on TV. He doesn't need to wrestle. He can just do his little skits on the couch, whatever.
Yeah?
He doesn't need to do much more than that right now. You have the Money in the Bank briefcase. Don't need to wrestle.
It depends how long he's hurt for, though. Like, if
That's
it's,
a good point.
You know what I mean? Like, rotator cuff surgery and he's out for a year. Torn bicep or whatever. Like, you never know. If it's like a broken wrist and he could be out for a couple months, yeah, sure. You know, if it's an injury where he can be out for 6 to 8 weeks, for sure keep the briefcase on him. No reason to take it off of him. But if he's out for 9 to 12 months, then you got to reconsider. So, I don't know. I hope Big E's okay and he's not going to be out for any amount of time. Hopefully it was just a bruise that he was just being safe with. But I don't know. It looks scary. And especially after that great moment where he wins. It reminded me of like... somebody said Finn Balor right after he won the Universal title. Also reminded me of when Sami Zayn came out, made his Raw debut in Montreal to wrestle John Cena, had this incredible moment, and he like popped his shoulder immediately just before the match even started. So sometimes you have these great moments and shit just goes wrong. And hopefully it didn't go wrong for Big E tonight. But I am worried about him. I'm a little worried about him. I hope he's all right. Great moment, though, and if he is fine, look out for Big E. Look out. All right, let's get to the women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
Oh, we trashed it enough.
Won by Nikki Ash. Nikki Ass wins.
Or it's Nikki ASH. That's how they call her now.
Yeah, they were calling her Nikki Ash for a while, and now they're saying Nikki ASH. I guess it sounded too close to ass, and Michael Cole called her Nikki Ass too many times. They're like, well, let's just call her Nikki ASH, because if we say Nikki Ash, we're just going to wind up calling her Nikki Ass, and that's not good. But I'm going to keep calling her Nikki Ass, because I think that's a funnier name. Nikki Ass wins. Shocking. She beats Alexa Bliss, Naomi, Zelina Vega, Asuka, Natalya, and Tamina to win the women's Money in the Bank. Alexa Bliss tried to bring the briefcase down with her powers. Just stood there, didn't climb a ladder, just kind of, come on, briefcase, and that didn't work.
It should have.
It should have. I mean, why not? Alexa and Zelina were on top of a ladder, and then Alexa put Zelina in a trance and made Zelina walk down the ladder. Everybody eventually piled ladders on top of Alexa Bliss outside the ring to stop her from doing her voodoo.
She's a Big Show.
Yeah, she's Big Show, but she's just Big Show of magic. I mean, she's tiny. Although she did make Zelina Vega... Like, Zelina Vega is so small, she made Alexa Bliss look big. How is small is Zelina Vega? Like, I was like, oh, I can't wait to see Zelina next to Alexa Bliss. Because I remember when Zelina wrestled Liv Morgan, and I was like, Liv Morgan's not big. Why does she look like Andre the Giant next to Zelina Vega? And then I was like, oh, I can't wait to see... I can't wait to see... Zelina next to Alexa Bliss, like, then there'll be two kind of, like, normal-sized people against each other. But no, Zelina making Alexa Bliss look like Randy Orton in there. Like, not quite Andre, but still quite a bit bigger than her. Which, you know, is crazy because Alexa is also tiny. Everybody at one point gets up on top of the ladders. There's several ladders set up. They're all reaching for the briefcase. Nikki Ass climbs up on a ladder. She reaches for the briefcase. No one stops her for some reason.
They see her.
They all see her. No one goes to stop her. And she wins. One of the worst Money in the Bank finishes you will ever see. It was ridiculous. Even, you saw Natty, right? Natty's like looking at her for a second. She's like, maybe I should fight her. And then she's like, oh, I'll just punch Zelina Vega in the face again. It's like, why, Natty? Punch the girl who's grabbing the briefcase. No one made an attempt to stop Nikki Ash. And as Doug Hepburn says, Dave's an Ash man.
Bang, bang.
Yeah, he's an Ash man.
Bang, bang. Yeah!
Terrible. What an awful finish. I'm not mad that Nikki Cross wins. I'm mad that Nikki Ass wins because I don't like this gimmick. But I like Nikki Cross as a wrestler. So, you know, I'm pleased that she won. She's very talented. This current gimmick is not my favorite. But it was a surprise. So, there's a silver lining. The match itself and the finish, not too good.
Yeah, pretty much. She feels like a bootleg Bailey. You know, with like she has like the bright blue and like the yellow. It's very Bailey colors, you know, like Bailey's a heel, so like someone needs to feel that like syrupy
Babyface for
sweet.
children.
Yeah.
She's a babyface for
She's
children.
just doing that, yeah.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself, kids. You know, anything's possible.
Yeah. Some things are possible, kids, but not anything. I mean, that's ridiculous. Believe in yourself, but really never give up. Sorry, John.
If there was a bright spot to that match, her winning was the only one, I think. I mean, I thought a lot of the spots... I can't think of one good spot that was actually really... I think Naomi had some good moments. That was about it, though. I thought she had a good like powerbomb thing when she powerbombed Liv, I think, onto Selena.
Yeah.
And I think she did like a split onto the ladder. Look, I'm grasping for something here, okay?
Yeah.
For this match. And these are the best moments, in my opinion, of this match. Everything else was just like sloppy, just like completely out of place with a lot of things. Like
it was repetitive.
Like, Selena doing Hurricane. Well, Selena did like a Hurricane Rana on the outside, and it's like Tamina just kind of gave up on it and just kind of like crouched away. Like it looked so bad, so many moves. And then of course you add in the stupid Bliss stuff. Oh, like I'm like this could be one of the worst pay-per-views we watched. This was a horrible way to start the pay-per-view. Thankfully, it turned around quickly because they needed that.
Yeah. But John, if you think that like Nikki Cross is gonna like be able to do something with this, I got 2 words for you: Damien Sandow.
Yeah, I don't know if
you
Nikki
told
Ass
me Otis.
wins. Yeah, Otis too.
Otis.
Does Nikki Ass win when she cashes in Money in the Bank? Does she even get to cash
Not
in,
on
or
Charlotte.
does somebody just take the briefcase from her in a match?
She'll need to, like, you know, obviously do a cash in on someone who just wins the title after a tough match. That's the only way she could win it, but it's not impossible. I mean, if she was ever going to win the title, this was the only way for her to do it.
I think she'll cash in on Doudrop when Doudrop is champion. I mean, Doudrop is smashing everybody. She should be champion. Doudrop? I'm surprised Doudrop wasn't on this pay-per-view. She should have been.
She should have won Money in the Bank.
Doudrop should have won Money in the Bank.
For Eva. It would have made a lot of sense.
Instead of Nikki Ass. And then
quick,
Eva.
No?
Yeah.
Eva could claim that she won Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
A little too early for Doudrop, you're saying?
Well, yeah, I mean, Nikki Cross has been there for how long? A couple of years now.
Yeah, but
And even pushing for her to win the title.
Doudrop beat Asuka and Naomi on her own. Squashed them in a 2-on-1. Doudrop. She's the strongest booked woman on the Raw roster. Who else could beat Asuka and Naomi in a 2-on-1?
Didn't Nia Jax used to do this too, though? Like, she used to have these handicap matches?
Not to Asuka.
Not to Asuka. Asuka doesn't lose 2-on-1 matches. But Doudrop beat her. Doudrop? Telling you. She's going to be a big star in WWE.
Well, maybe that'll be the match for Charlotte at SummerSlam.
Oh, maybe.
Super chat.
You know?
Eva gets heat.
Eva does get heat, and people like Charlotte, so maybe. Angelo dropped in the super chat. He says, I'm happy for Nikki Ash. Give her a proper push, and she'll be champ soon. I hope so. She's talented. And I do believe, did Angelo just take the lead? I think Angelo is now the new Super Chat leader of the night. Thank you to Angelo, Harold Schneider, Doug Hepburn dropping Super Chats tonight. Appreciate you guys supporting the Ringside Report Network. Keep supporting the network. Keep hitting us up on Super Chat. Let's get a little money in the bank battle. Who's going to climb the Super Chat ladder tonight? Angelo right now on top of the ladder. But is there going to be an Alexa Bliss to voodoo him off the ladder? Who knows? Who knows? Dewdrop, Nikki Ash, future superstars. You know who else is a future superstar? Omos. That guy is big and impressive looking. Mm-hmm. His match tonight was, okay. AJ Styles was much more impressive. Did you see Omos pick up AJ Styles, throw him outside of the ring, and then AJ Styles gets thrown outside the ring, somehow lands in a Hurricane Rana on Ivar and like Hurricane Rana's outside the ring? That was ridiculous.
Well, AJ's amazing. I'm not surprised by that.
It was just cool. Omos does a gorilla press on Ivar that was kind of impressive. Would have been more impressive if he did it like kind of starting in the middle of the ring, but Ivar was already on the top rope and Omos just kind of held him for a bit and then dropped him down. Omos does his choke bomb on Eric of the Viking Raiders. AJ Styles and Omos retain the tag team titles over the Viking Raiders. The match wasn't anything special, but you could tell Omos is going to be something. Eventually, AJ and Omos, Omos was AJ's bodyguard for a while, just watched him wrestle from the outside. Now he's teaming with him, so he's teaming with AJ Styles, learning how to do that. And eventually he's going to turn on AJ, or AJ's going to turn on him, and then he's going to wrestle AJ Styles. So his first singles feud will be against the best wrestler in the world, so he'll be able to learn and become better. I think they are slowly bringing Omos along to make him the very best professional wrestler that he can be. And it'll be up to him whether he sinks or swims after his run with AJ Styles is done. I don't know when that run will end, but at a certain point, they're going to go against each other, and Omos will hopefully be ready for the big time once AJ Styles gets done grooming him and getting him ready for that spot. Omos is huge. He's young. He's got a ton of upside. His look is very impressive. I don't know how much he's improving in the ring, but he seemed passable tonight. The match wasn't great, but for a guy his size, he did enough in the match. It wasn't terrible.
You could see improvements. I mean, if you look at his WrestleMania match to now, you could see there's slight improvements. I mean, he's getting some things. Some things he still needs to work on. His selling, I think, still needs some work. But he seemed to be more into the match. He seemed to be showing more emotion than before. So, you're seeing little things. And his execution, too. So, it's a slow improvement, but things take time.
Didn't take a bump.
I don't think he can.
He doesn't need to, though.
No. Did Khali ever take a flat back bump?
Not until very late, I think.
Even then.
He always wound up sitting on his butt, right?
I don't think he ever took a straight fall back bump.
Well, John Cena did give him an FU.
Yeah, but that's different. That's not like taking a punch and dropping to your back. He's not bumping and feeding for people, right?
No, of course, yeah, he never did that. He never had to do that. But I mean,
imagine.
He did take a.
Oh, Big Show could.
Yeah.
Big Show could bump and feed for you.
Kane
could. Undertaker could.
Could, but they shouldn't.
Well, depends who they're wrestling. You're wrestling Triple H, you better bump and feed, brother.
That's right. See how fast I snap.
But I think Omos is doing all right. And for a guy his size, I think you're right. He doesn't have to take these bumps. Mm-hmm. He's still not left his feet. He's kind of gone to a knee, but he hasn't left his feet as a wrestler so far.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Well, that's it.
Keep that going.
That's it. He's being built very well. Mm-hmm. Speaking of being built, one of the most built guys on the roster, Bobby Lashley, WWE Champion. Domination of Kofi Kingston Bobby got real serious on Raw this week, told MVP to get serious, get rid of the ladies, get rid of the champagne. It's all about hurting people. It's all about getting back to basics, getting back to violence, domination. And that's what Bobby Lashley did, actually hit 3 of those Dominator slams on Kofi Kingston before applying the Hurt Lock full Nelson submission to get the win. Kofi just beat down, didn't tap out. He passed out to the full Nelson. He was already passed out before Bobby even applied that move. Just a vicious beating from Bobby Lashley on Kofi Kingston. You get the feeling they're building Bobby for something. I wonder who's next for Bobby. Get it? Who's next? Goldberg?
Well, Big E would be a better opponent, obviously, but yeah, I guess for SummerSlam, that's fine.
It'd be cool if Big E cashed in on Bobby tomorrow night, and then Goldberg showed up and was like, "Big E, you're next." That'd be amazing. That'd be way better.
Now you're next, I guess. Sure,
yeah.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I mean, that's something too with Big E. If he does a cash in, he's probably gonna announce it ahead of time, and then it'll probably be something like that.
I could see him doing a sneak attack.
I could see him cashing in at SummerSlam.
Not with him.
Yeah, why not though?
No, because he would just be straight up about it. That's more his character, I think.
Maybe.
Bobby
looking very strong. Did Kofi get any offense in tonight?
I feel like he may have got a couple of strikes that weren't really effective whatsoever. That was about it.
Right. Kind of disappointing for Kofi. He's just a byproduct of this push for Bobby Lashley that is really just to get Bobby ready for Goldberg, to make Bobby more intimidating for Goldberg at SummerSlam. Kind of sucks for Kofi, but, what are you going to do? He's just playing a role.
Well, it's not just that. I think it was just to establish Bobby that, you piss him off, he's going to destroy you kind of thing. And that, I think, goes for everybody kind of thing. Because, he's been made to...
Sorry,
John. Well, he was made to look weak the last couple of weeks, so I think they needed to do this.
Yeah, they needed to make Bobby look stronger if he is going to be believed to go up against Goldberg at SummerSlam. I just don't want to see Goldberg at all. And Goldberg versus Lashley, to me, isn't really the match. I thought Brock versus Lashley would have been a lot better, but apparently, doesn't look like they can get Brock, so Goldberg is plan B to put Lashley over at SummerSlam. Is what it is. I'm more excited about seeing Cena versus Roman than Goldberg versus Bobby, but I think you're supposed to be more excited about Cena anyways, because it's goddamn John Cena. The Usos, new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Johnny, we predicted that this would be the only title change on this card. Charlotte Flair surprised us, but we were not surprised that the Usos walk away as the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Seemed like a matter of time with the Usos and Roman Reigns head of the table, holding all the gold on SmackDown. They're now the SmackDown Tag Champs. Roman is the Universal Champ. It just made sense. I thought this match was excellent. Jimmy Uso rolls up Rey Mysterio. Jey Uso kind of pushed Jimmy with his feet to get extra leverage on the cover. A little bit of cheating to win. Not too much, though. I thought the match was very good. And not surprised about the finish, but happy to see it. Happy to see the Usos now champions again, one of the greatest tag teams in the history of the game. And with Roman Reigns there, it just made sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed the match. The only problem I had with it was the Mysterio's entrance. That was about it.
Oh, yeah. Stepping through the portal.
I don't know. Yeah, that was not needed whatsoever. And then, not only that, they step through the portal and, their suits are gone. Yeah. They magically have masks now,
Jason masks.
I thought it was actually Slapjack, but okay.
No. Those were Jason from Friday the 13th masks. And they were in some weird dimension with Mayan temples and it was the Northern Lights outside, which is not for Mexico.
It was weird.
Aurora Borealis at that time of day, at that time of year, in that part of the country.
Steamed hams? I just didn't understand what the hell was going on. Like, are they aliens? Are they aliens? Why did they step through a dimension? The Mysterios come from another dimension. They step through that dimension
in suits
to go to the ring. They're wearing suits. They step through a dimension, and they're wearing their wrestling gear. You know, we wanted to see the Mysterios kind of spinning around in a circle. Ah! Whoa! Booyaka, booyaka! Oh shit, there's Chavo! You know, like something like that would have been a lot cooler than stepping through that dimension. Come on, son, it's okay. It's just another dimension. Are you sure, Dad? Is that a good idea? Yeah, I do it all the time, man. Booyaka, booyaka. You know, like
Now let's go kick some Uso butt.
Weird. Stepping through a dimension. Do you think they do the dimension thing again, or that was just for pay-per-view?
I hope it was a one-time thing. I hope we never see it again. But I'm actually worried that we might see it again. It might be the thing.
Not. I really hope not. I never want to see it again. It was weird. Don't step through a portal to come to the ring.
It's all these wrestlers having like control over their own dimensions. You know, Bray Wyatt has like his like weird thing, and Alexa Bliss with her magic powers.
Yeah.
Now the Mysterios have their own secret universe dimension thing that they could travel back and forth easily.
Are they traveling through time? Are they traveling through space? Space and time? Like, what is happening?
Are they Dominic and Ray from another universe? You know, like another reality. You know, they come from a different Earth. I don't know.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Multiverses. Multiverse.
Is Dominic the father in this one?
That's right.
And
like Eddie's just like a baby.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I will say this. I thought Dominic's performance on SmackDown was way better than tonight. I thought tonight it was more of the old Dominic, where he had good moments, but there were some moments where he seemed very out of place.
Yeah. I mean, Dominic wasn't great, but, you know, the Usos were solid. Ray was good. The match was all right for a pre-show match. We got the title change, you know. Good match to start off the show. And that was Money in the Bank. Brian Firth, our buddy, checking in. He gave Slammiversary a 7.5. Money in the Bank a 7. So he actually likes Slammiversary better. Impact Wrestling did Slammiversary yesterday. I haven't seen Slammiversary. I did see some highlights, though. I saw Kenny Omega. Seemed like he had a pretty wild match with Sami Callihan. And then Jay White, the Switchblade, he shows up.
Totally different looking wrestler.
Jay Leno shows up.
Jay Leno showed up with Karl Malone, and oh my God, Kenny Omega ran scared. But Dennis Rodman showed up, and he was ready for a fight. Let me tell you, Carmen Electra was there. Wow, 1998 was a hell of a year. But that's not what happened. Jay White from New Japan Pro Wrestling showed up and confronted Kenny Omega from AEW in Impact Wrestling. A lot of crazy things going on, but you know, the possibilities are very, very interesting for the future. You know, very interesting to see what Jay White and Kenny Omega actually do in Impact Wrestling or in AEW or in New Japan. That was a big one. That was a really big one, seeing Jay White show up. I don't know how familiar you are, Johnny North, with Jay White, but if you're a New Japan Pro Wrestling fan, you know this guy was a former IWGP Heavyweight Champion. He's the current Never Openweight Champion. He's a former Intercontinental Champion in IWGP. Like, this is one of the most decorated guys. This is one of the most, you know, top guys in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And for him to show up in Impact and confront the AEW and Impact World Champion Kenny Omega, it's a big deal. You know, this isn't Yuji Nagata showing up. You know what I mean? Like, this is a big deal. Like, this is a level of an Okada or a Naito showing up. This is Jay White. This is the Switchblade. This is one of the future guys in pro wrestling. This is one of the top stars in the business. So for him to show up and confront Kenny Omega last night for Impact, huge for Impact, but just huge for pro wrestling because, you know, the possibilities are really endless here. And where they do this match will be very interesting to see. I would think AEW would want it, but I don't know. But Jay White versus Kenny Omega, As Ray Cruz is saying, Bullet Club versus the Elite. You know, Jay White is in the Bullet Club, the OG Bullet Club, and Kenny with the Elite. Oof. And you got Gallows and Anderson going back to New Japan. Like, things are starting to heat up, and the New Japan AEW relationship might get a little spicier here over the next few months. Jay White showing up was a major shift, and we're going to see some things happening here coming up. So very exciting stuff.
Very exciting.
All right,
that's a portal, you know. That's an interesting portal.
That's the Forbidden Door.
Yeah, the Forbidden Door. That's what they call it. Yeah,
that's right. Johnny, excited about Jay White or don't really care? Need to see more?
Well, I don't really watch Impact, so yeah, it's not really a huge deal for me.
Yeah.
Or New Japan, so yeah, not really a big deal. But it is cool that they're getting more names there. Thunder Rosa showed up as well in the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Mickey James, so very interesting what they're doing.
Yeah. Mickey James booking an all-women's pay-per-view for NWA Wrestling as well. That looks like it's got some steam behind it, so we'll see what happens there.
Good for her.
Good stuff. Shout out to Patrick C. Hamilton dropping a super chat saying, #1 fan. Thank you, Patrick. Appreciate you. And that is it. Shout out to everybody on the chat. I see you, Brian Firth. Asking about call-ins. He wanted to call into the show tonight. We used to have that available, but people weren't calling in so much, so we didn't continue that service. But it could happen again in the future, I suppose. It's possible.
The chat's kind of like a call-in.
Yeah, that's it. You can send us your comments on the chat, and that works too for now. Guys, thank you for supporting the Ringside Report Network. I want to thank Angelo Contagonis. He is the super chat leader once again. I think that's 3 times in the same week for Angelo. So you got to give it up to Angelo, just killing it. Triple threat, Angelo. Thank you, Angelo. Super chat leader once again tonight. Thank you to Patrick C. Hamilton for dropping the super chat. Doug Hepburn as well. Harold Schneider. A lot of support for the Ringside Report Network tonight. We appreciate you guys. Very much appreciated. Shout out to the members as well. I see you, Franco316, Doug Hepburn, of course, Angelo, Patrick, Harold, and everybody else that signed up for a membership. If you're not watching live, Brian Firth, of course, always supporting the Ringside Report Network. Appreciate you guys. The lifeblood of the channel. Thank you for watching the Money in the Bank, a post show tonight. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. And yes, Angelo says, see you later tonight for the Raw Recap. I will be back here, I guess technically later tonight, to recap Monday Night Raw. But Johnny and I will not be here on Wednesday night, and I won't be here on Thursday night. I'm taking a little bit of a vacation this week, going to a place for some time. So I'll be out of town.
You're back Friday.
Yeah, back Friday for the SmackDown post show with Johnny. But we're not doing a post AEW show this week, and we're not doing the MMA show on Thursday because I'm taking a vacation because it's summertime and that's what you do. Okay. But I will be back here tonight, or tomorrow night, whatever you want to call it, Monday night, right after Raw, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, right after Monday Night Raw, to recap Raw, probably recap Goldberg's appearance on Monday Night Raw. Doug Hepburn dropping a super chat saying, Johnny, post your match on YouTube. Post your match on YouTube, Johnny.
Well, I don't exactly film my match. I'm actually wrestling when I'm doing the match, so it's kind of hard to film my match, but we'll see if someone will do that for me. It's no promises on that one.
All right. Well, hopefully somebody films Johnny's match for him, and then they could put it up on YouTube or something. Thank you, Doug, for the super chat. Appreciate you, man, out in Kingston, Ontario. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Appreciate you, and we'll talk to you again real soon. This has been the Money in the Bank post show. See you.